Good evening and thanks for joining us for this edition of the news on DBS television. Let's begin with the headlines. Cameroon joins the rest of the world this February 4 to observe World Cancer Day. On this occasion, health experts seek to sensitize Cameroonians on the presence of cancer and, most importantly, on the ways to avoid this disease. In view of the National Bilingualism Week, which is launched with its activities across Cameroon, now more than ever, Cameroonians question their level of bilingualism and, most importantly, their ability to speak English and French in this nation. In sport, CHAN 2021, Cameroon is no longer in the race. This to the disappointment of many Cameroonians who, however, are relieved with the fact that the country at least reached the semi-finals. Let's get details of these stories and more when we return in a moment. Good evening once again and thanks for joining us. This is the 7 p.m. newscast on DBS television in the English language presented by me, Cynthia Ngwemo. In our news today, every 4th of February is observed as World Cancer Day. The day is aimed at saving millions of lives and being able to prevent preventable deaths from cancer in the world. This goes through the raising of awareness and the presence of cancer in the world, and most importantly, the ways in which we can avoid this disease. In the following report, Mange Venasius looks at the various types of cancer in Cameroon and the ways we can avoid this disease. His report.
Being the brainchild of the Union for International Cancer Control to raise worldwide attention and inspire action for a cancer-free future, the international community observes every 4th of February to create awareness on the dangers and impact of cancer in our society. An illness that presents itself in a myriad of forms but has an underlying characteristic.
The common denominator of all cancers is that the cells of the body, the part of the body that has the cancer, begin to divide. It divides in a manner that is not controlled. Divide out of control.
In our society and perhaps in sub-Saharan Africa, rampant types of cancer will include
cancer of the cervix, cancer of the prostate, cancer of the breast, cancer of the lungs. These are the major ones. There are some cancers that you may never ever hear about because they are rare. But these ones are common, very common cancers. If you want to count, they will be in the first few.
These cancers have their causes as their types are.
Just like I said, cancer is not a single disease, so the causes are varied. There are cancers that are caused by infection, like cancer of the cervix. But you will not see cancer of the breast is caused by infection. Cancer of the cervix is caused by an infection in the class of human papilloma viruses. There are so many. Cancer of the breast could be genetic.
For that reason, preventive measures are bound and will require our commitment to act, which will lead to powerful progress in reducing the global impact of cancer.
You can prevent that by screening, which is what we are doing. We screen women, but sub-Saharan Africa, more than 500,000 die because we don't have the culture of screening, we don't have the culture of vaccination, and so on. So that's prevention.
This falls in line with the action of medical structures, since they understand that together all our actions matter, which is the theme for 2021 World Cancer Day.
Still talking about cancer and health, Dr. Simon Petulano, whom we just had in the previous report, says that cancer is a global health threat that needs even more attention in the African society than the coronavirus pandemic does. Let's now listen to him in the following excerpt as prepared for us by Mange Venasius.
COVID-19 has its great impact abroad, and they have to concentrate, which is just normal. A disease that is killing a lot of people abroad, they don't have a choice than to concentrate on it. We are here concentrating on cancer of the cervix and other cancers that are killing people almost every minute, every day. So it's all about where you are located. It's all about what is important. It's all about which one will make sense. Because we cannot, it will be very unfortunate for us to concentrate our energy on COVID-19. Because on a very good day, you have to convince somebody in this part of the world to even believe that a disease like that is existing. But I believe that because of their climatic condition over there, it's killing people every day. COVID-19 is not as important in this country now, as we speak, than it's simple cancer like breast cancer, prostate cancer, cervical cancer. It cannot be compared because COVID-19 has killed less than 1,000 people. But since this thing came, at least 100,000 women have died of cancer of the cervix.
Let's now talk youth empowerment, as the introduction of the biometric youth card by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education is one of the main measures taken by the government to facilitate access to some social services for young Cameroonians. Though it is not yet fully operational, many young Cameroonians think that it is going to be very helpful for them, especially in the domain of professional aspirations. In Yaoundé, Ate Bonaventure spoke to some of these young Cameroonians who share their opinions with us in the following report.
Youth unemployment is still a major preoccupation in Cameroon, and the government has been carrying out a number of projects not only to open up spaces for possible youth employment, but also to ensure that they do so using secure and authentic means of identification. Reason for the creation of a biometric youth card. Some Cameroonians are aware of the existence of such a card, though not in possession of one.
I applied for the biometric youth card because I saw from the publicity that was done about the biometric card, I saw a series of things, of advantages that if a young person has the biometric youth card, he or she will stand to benefit, like a reduction in your health bills at the level of state of health institutions, a reduction in travel costs, a reduction in the cost of purchasing even items in certain supermarkets, and a whole lot of issues. So I think that the advantages as presented by the Ministry of Youth Affairs, they are enormous, and I think if it really go operational, many young people will benefit from it.
A good number of youngsters are still ignorant about the concept.
There needs to be massive sensitization about the card, right from the level of the communal to the subdivision to the division and to the regional level, through the Cameroon National Youth Council, and also taking advantage of the local organizations that are working in all these different places, areas, and the national territory, so that youth can actually be at the forefront of actions when it has to do with the biometric cards.
A small number of cards have already been printed in the pilot, but the government plans to make them operational in the first quarter of 2021. Although the project has been hailed as innovative, some advocates in the digital identity and biometrics community have picked some holes in it, arguing that the government must take into account a number of factors in order to make the project more inclusive and holistic.
The regional delegate of Youth Affairs and Civic Education in the East region has just launched activities marking the commemoration of the National Youth Day, which is on the 11th of February. It was launched through a sensitization campaign that brought students and pupils together in order to sensitize them on how to respect COVID-19 barrier measures. Let's get the details of this story with Vanessa Shuyon.
This year's celebration of the National Youth Day will be unique in that it will be commemorated within the coronavirus pandemic era. By so doing, the regional delegate of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, alongside the city mayor of Betwa, have launched a caravan as part of activities leading to the 55th edition of the National Youth Day. A heavy mobilization of students and health personnel who walk across some points of mass gatherings such as bus stations, markets and schools to sensitize the population on COVID-19 barrier measures.
We call of the people that to respect all the measure, the barrier measure that the government say we must respect, and then wash the hand, wash correctly our hand, put our mask, and respect the how to call it, yes, social distance, and so on.
To appropriately pass the message across, they carried out practical examples, that of regularly washing of hands with soap and clean water.
Commence par ceci. On se frotte les doigts et les entre-doigts.
Even the very little ones of nursery school were not left out. Stickers and face masks were donated to coordinators of the various schools. This year's commemoration of the National Youth Day centered on the theme Youth Resilience, Challenges and Opportunities in COVID-19 Time. This awareness-raising campaign will intensify by Open Door Days on COVID-19, beginning on Friday, February 5th till February 11, 2021.
Cameroon is a bilingual country for sure. That is even one of the only two existing in the world. But are Cameroonians really bilingual? Are Cameroonians really able to speak English and French? These are the questions to which we propose answers in the following report, where Cameroonians tell us about their ability to speak English and French and their level of bilingualism. Nde Vanessa once again has this report.
Bilingualism is an integral part of Cameroon's culture and society, reason why it occupies a privileged position in government agenda and yearly activities. A clear proof is the commemoration of the National Bilingualism Week, a week full of activities aimed at showcasing the place and importance of bilingualism in Cameroon. It is clear that Cameroon is bilingual, but are Cameroonians themselves bilingual? A question that pops up year in, year out, to which there is no definite answer. Why some English-speaking Cameroonians find it hard to utter even a bonjour in the French language, and the French-speaking ones who barely say good morning, a cross-section, understand the place of both English and French in Cameroon and make efforts to have at least a minimum mastery of both languages.
Bilingualism is good for me because when you are bilingual, you are a bilingual student, you can do all the things that you want. You can communicate with people in English or in French.
C'est bon d'être bilingue parce que partout on ne va pas seulement parler français, on va aussi parler anglais. Et là on va arriver, tu ne peux pas peut-être arriver dans une ville comme à Bamenda. Tu ne vas pas seulement parler le français, on va aussi t'apprendre à parler anglais.
I try, but I know that I have also to speak very well. This is the work of everyone, every Cameroonian, to try to speak English and French very well. But I know that I have very work to speak very well. Donc,
it is not always an easy task, but being able to express oneself in both English and French is an added advantage for every Cameroonian and part of the Cameroonian identity, home and abroad.
The Intermediate Lions of Cameroon have failed to reach the finals of the African Nations Championship currently ongoing in Cameroon. This comes after they suffered a 4-0 defeat in the hands of the Atlas Lions of Morocco. Cameroonian fans who watched the match in Yaoundé recount that they are discouraged and even disappointed, but however are satisfied with the fact that Cameroon at least got to the finals. Let's get in the following report how these people lived this encounter in Yaoundé.
The Atlas Lion boots out the indomitable lion from his own den. A humiliating 4-0 semi-final defeat that left supporters in despair.
Man, we're fucking disappointed. Really fucking disappointed. Do you know what? We're not organized anywhere. These niggas have done what they could do. They've done their best with the little they were given. So actually, maybe we are disappointed because we had greater hopes.
The Intermediate Lions started the game on a good foot and started losing steam after Raja of Casablanca's Buftini Raimi scored the opener and doubled 6 minutes before half-time. Hashu Querido had a tough time after dropping a free kick at the feet of his opponent. Fans couldn't bear the shock.
Morocco was very big for them, but nevertheless, we are happy that football are going on.
The boys of coach Ntungum Pile made several attempts to reduce scores to no avail. 10 minutes to full time, midfielder Bemame sealed the route with a goal that was allowed by the video assistance referee. The Atlas Lions are poised to defend their title when they clash with the Eagles of Mali on Sunday in the final.
Now we open the African page with the Democratic Republic of Congo, where Christophe Mbosso has been elected the new head of the National Assembly. This came during the election of members of the final office of the lower house of parliament, where he won 389 votes out of 460. At the age of 78, Mbosso, a supporter of President Felix Tshisekedi, is the oldest member of the assembly who left Kabila's FCC party to rally behind Tshisekedi but kept a grip on power via supporters in parliament. The election of Mbosso on Wednesday is seen as a move that cements President Felix Tshisekedi's control of the House without elevating a potential rival for the next election. The former Speaker of Parliament, Mrs. Janine Mabunda, was dismissed following a vote petition by its members, where she was quickly accused by the FFC of playing the game of Felix Tshisekedi since she took office in 2019. The recent political development in the DRC has raised concerns from the UN, which warned about the political, economic and security impact of crisis. President Felix Tshisekedi came to power and had to sign a secret coalition pact with Joseph Kabila, whose party won the majority in parliament, and he moved to end the power-sharing agreement with Kabila after some months of tension between both camps. Now in Gabon, the party of President Ali Bongo Ondimba has won the overwhelming majority of seats in the first round of senatorial elections that took place in the country last Saturday. The official or National Electoral Commission announced on Tuesday that the ruling party won 45 of the 52 seats at stake in the Gabonese Senate. The domination of the Gabonese Democratic Party came in just the first round of vote. A second round would be held on February 6, though the Gabonese Constitutional Court is yet to confirm the vote. In Saturday's vote, 5 opposition or independent senators were elected and 2 seats remain to be filled in the second round. In addition, the head of state must appoint 15 members of the future Senate by a decree, which would make a total of 67 members of the parliament. The 52 other senators are elected for a 6-year term by an indirect ballot by members of municipal councils. The ruling PDG's dominance of the January 30 vote follows the 2018 opposition boycott of local elections, thus affecting the opposition's ability to influence the outcome of the legislative polls. Whatever the case, incidents of election-related unrest are unlikely to occur in Gabon, this according to observers. In news out of the African continent, we take Myanmar, where noisy protests have erupted against the military after the coup d'etat that they staged on Monday, taking over power in the southeastern Asian country. People came out in the city of Yangon chanting and hitting on metal pots on Tuesday in a traditional gesture to drive away evil or bad karma. Medical doctors and other healthcare workers across Myanmar have also come out protesting the military coup that overthrew the country's top elected official, Aung San Suu Kyi, and others over claims of electoral fraud. Government healthcare workers across 70 hospitals in 30 towns have mobilized anti-coup protest movements, with some even threatening to stop working amid the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, this until peace is restored in the nation. They say they cannot accept dictators nor any unelected government. This comes after Myanmar police filed charges against ousted and detained Suu Kyi for illegal importing of communications equipment, and she will be detained until February 15 for investigations. That is the package that we assembled for you on today's edition of the news on DBS television. I am Cynthia Nguemo for the presentation, inviting you to stay with us until we meet you again tomorrow for the last edition of the week. For now, good night.